Imagine coming home to your partner who is upset about something you swear that you've never said, and then they play a voice message in your voice asking for a divorce. He's the part no one warns you about. The things you say in private can be used by others like keys. I am Costus Memoriam, the keeper of memories and stories, and this is my library. Not everything here has a history, and not everything here is fictional. But tonight's story, I'll let you decide which it is. Mark kept a stone in his pocket, the way some people kept mints. It was small and smooth and flat enough to sit against his palm. White flecks ran through one side. The other side looked darker, like old tea spilled on rock. He found it on a beach years ago, before the accident, when the sea felt harmless and time felt slow. He pressed it now while Sarah and Liam argued on the sofa across him. "I can't do this anymore," Sarah said. She did not cry in a soft way. Her tears came with anger, like rain that wanted to break something. Liam leaned forward and reached for her hand. "I love you. We can sort it out." His voice sounded steady, which made Sarah's face twist even more. "Don't say it like that," she snapped. "Don't say it like you're reading off a screen." Mark watched the way Sarah's foot tapped the carpet. He watched Liam's jaw work as if he was chewing on the words he could not swallow. This was normal for Mark's job. Couples came to him when distance between them turned into wall. Still, something felt wrong today. He could not name it. He could only feel it under his ribs. Mark tried to slow them down. "Liam, when you say you love her, what happens inside of you?" Liam blinked and looked at the bookshelf behind Mark. He did that when he was scared. "I don't know. She thinks I don't care. I do care. I'm scared she will leave." Sarah's eyes shone. Her anger did not vanish. It shifted. "So do something," she said. Her voice dropped. "You tell me you love me here once a week. Then at home you act I'm not even in the room." Mark felt the stone grow warmer. He squeezed harder. He thought of his own home. He thought of the empty room that used to belong to a child. He pushed away the thought, the way he always did during sessions. Sarah drew in a breath. "I think we should separate." Liam turned to Mark as if Mark could stop the sentence from landing. Mark glanced at the clock. 10 minutes passed. He should have ended the session already, but in the air the room felt tight. Stopping now would leave them in open wounds. Mark forced his voice to stay calm. "Sarah, can you say what you're afraid of under the anger?" Sarah's mouth opened. Then she hesitated. Her eyes slid to the half-open window. A car had pulled into the car park below. Music thrummed through the glass. The rhythm was loud enough for Mark to recognize it. "Should I stay or should I go?" Sarah gave a sharp laugh, not amused. "That's it, isn't it?" Liam frowned. "What is?" Mark felt his stomach dip. It was a sad song. People still played old songs. That meant nothing. Still, Sarah's laugh did not fit the moment, and neither did the timing. Mark ended the session with his usual lines about safety and taking space and not taking big decisions in the heat of a fight. He walked them to the door. Liam thanked him with a smile but did not reach his eyes. Sarah did not look at him at all. When their footsteps faded down the corridor, Mark closed the door and rested his forehead against it. He did not have time to breathe. He had his own appointment next. Mark sat at his desk and opened the telehealth app on his laptop. The screen showed his face first, then it connected. Charlie appeared. Charlie always looked as if he had just stepped in from the rain, even on sunny days. He had kind eyes that did not let Mark hide behind jokes. "You're late," Charlie said gently. "I know." Mark rubbed his thumb over the stone. It ran over. Charlie nodded. He glanced to the side of his screen. "Is Anna joining today?" Mark's mouth went dry. "She's supposed to." "She has missed the last few," Charlie said. He kept his voice even. "I worry about her." "I worry about you." Mark swallowed. "She forgot." Charlie waited. Silence had weight in therapy. Mark knew that better than anyone. Charlie spoke again. Mark, I can't do capital work if only one of you is here. You know that. I know. Is she alright? Mark forced a small laugh. She's fine. Work has been a lot. Charlie's eyes stayed on him. The loss changes people. It changes Capel. Mark's hand tightened on the stone so hard it hurt. He looked down at his desk. Can we not? A small notification flashed at the top of Mark's screen. Anna has joined. Mark stared. Charlie frowned. I don't see her. Neither did Mark. The app showed only Mark and Charlie. Mark's heart beat faster. The notification vanished. Another appeared. Anna has left. Mark felt cold sweat on his back. Charlie said Mark's name again. Are you okay? Mark forced himself to breathe. Yes, I think the app is glitchy. Charlie's voice stayed calm, but his eyes sharpened. Glitches happen, so do excuses. Mark wanted to snap back. He did not. He heard himself say, Can I email you? The words slipped out before he meant them. They sounded like a child trying to end a difficult conversation. Charlie blinked. Email me about what? Mark opened his mouth. He had no answer. After the session, Mark sat still for a long moment. The office felt too quiet now. He shut the laptop. He stood and crossed to the window, then stopped. The car in the car park was gone. A thin sound came from the corridor outside, like a phone buzzing in someone's pocket. Mark ignored it and tidied his desk. His phone buzzed away. A message from Anna. Can I email you? Mark stared until his eyes watered. Anna never wrote like that. She did not ask to email. She hated email. He called her at once. Anna answered with a tired, Hello. Mark stepped into the hall so his voice could not echo. Did you just text me? There was a pause. No. Mark's throat tightened. I got a message from you. I haven't been on my phone, Anna said. I'm on the train. What's going on? Mark tried to laugh. Nothing, probably just some weird auto message. Anna's voice turned sharp. Mark, someone called me yesterday. Mark went, Who? She lowered her voice as if people nearby could hear. You did. Mark's skin prickled. I did not. Anna inhaled, shaky. It was your number, your voice. You sounded calm, but made it worse. Mark pressed his fingertips to his forehead. What did the voice say? Anna did not answer at first. When she did, her words came out flat. It said that you can't do this anymore. It said that you think we should separate. Mark's hand slid down the wall for balance. The corridor lights hummed. The building suddenly smelled like clean fluid. Anna kept talking. Then it said you wanted to talk later. It asked it could email me. Mark closed his eyes. He saw Sarah on his sofa. He saw her mouth forming the same sentence. It wasn't me, Mark said. Anna made a small sound, half a laugh and half sob. Then who was it? Mark told himself it had to be a scam, a voice imitation. Those existed. He had read the articles. He had warned clients about online fraud. He had felt smart while doing it. Now, the advice sounded thin. Mark hung up and went back into his office. He opened his email on the laptop. His hand shook as he typed his password. The inbox loaded. There was a sent mail from his account to Anna. Subject: Can I email you? The body was one line. Should I stay or should I go? Mark's stomach lurched. He had not sent it. He had not even listened to the song in years. He checked his sent folder again. More emails sat there. Dozens. Messages to the current and former clients. Some contained appointment times that Mark did not offer. Some contained a single question. What happens inside when you say you love her? Another message, sent to a client he had not seen in months, read, The conflict will win. It always does. His own phrases stared back at him, like stolen clothes worn by a stranger. Mark stood so fast his chair rolled back and hit the wall. He searched for malware on his computer. He changed his passwords. He enabled extra security. He did everything he could think of while his man ran in circles. Then the phone on his desk rang. Mark hesitated before picking it up. "Mark Taylor?" A woman's voice came through, uncertain. "It's Sarah. From today." Mark's mouth went dry. "Is everything okay?" Sarah exhaled. "I got an email from you. It says you can see us tomorrow morning. It says you have something important to tell me about my husband." Mark's heart pounded. "I did not send that." Silence stretched. Sarah spoke again, low. "Then why did it use your voice?" Mark froze. "What do you mean?" Sarah sounded smaller now. "It was a voice note. Your voice. It said Liam has been lying. It said you know things. It told me to come alone." Mark's grip tightened on the handset. "Do not come. Do you understand? Do not meet anyone. Delete it." Sarah breathed fast. "Mark, what's happening?" Mark wanted to say he did not know. He wanted to say it was a mistake. He wanted to say she was safe. Instead, he said, "I think someone is listening." After he ended the call, Mark walked around in his office like an animal looking for a way out. His eyes went to the bookshelf, the lamp, the smoke alarm, then to the small white speaker on the window sill. He had not bought it. It came with the building, part of the well-being upgrade the landlord had installed. Mark had barely noticed it. He assumed it played soft music noise in the corridor, a sound masking system, the brochure said. He stepped closer. A tiny light blinked on the bottom. Mark's mouth went dry again. He pulled it off the sill. A thin cable ran behind the radiator and through the hole in the wall. His heart hammered. He followed the cables with his hand and found a panel near the floor. It had been painted the same color as the wall. He had never seen it before. Mark took his keys and used the end to pry it open. The panel popped loose. Inside sat a small black box the size of a wallet. A sticker on it showed a logo, Echowell. Mark stared. He'd seen that name before on a leaflet at the reception. He unplugged the box. The blinking light died. The building stayed silent. No alarm sounded. No one came running. That made it worse. Mark held the box in his hand. It felt warm, as if it had been working hard. He went to the reception and asked the manager, a man named Pete, about Echowell. Pete smiled like a man repeating a script. "It's a service," Pete said. "Improves the work environment, helps with noise, helps with productivity. It's all anonymous." Mark kept his voice steady. "Does it record audio?" Pete's smile did not shift. "It measures sound levels. Nothing personal. It's for comfort." Mark held up the black box. "This was inside my office wall." Pete blinked once. "That shouldn't be there." Mark watched Pete's eyes. Pete looked away for half a second. It was enough. Mark left before he said something that would have get him thrown out. He went back to his office and locked the door. Then he sat at his desk with the box in front of him and stared until his eyes hurt. He told himself a company mistake, some careless installation. That story lasted until night. Mark could not bring himself to go home. He stayed until the building emptied. He waited until the reception lights dimmed and the corridor felt quiet. Then he took the stairs down to the basement. There was a locked door near the storage cages. A sign read, "Communications room, authorized personnel only." Mark did not have authorized access. He had a set of spare keys he kept for emergencies. He used them anyway. One key fit. The door opened to a room filled with metal racks, routers and blinking lights. The air smelled of dust and hot plastic. A low fan noise filled the space. On one of the racks sat a small server with the Echowell logo. Mark stepped closer. His pulse thudded in his ears. A screen on the server showed a simple menu. Someone had left it logged in. Mark Taylor, audio summary, today. Mark reached out and clicked. A list appeared. Session, 2 p.m. Session, 3 p.m. Session, 4:30 p.m. Mark's own session with Charlie sat there too. He clicked it before he could stop himself. The speakers on the server played a voice. Mark's voice. Clear, calm, not quite human in the pauses. Sometimes the truth is harder to say out loud, the voice said. Then another voice came in, Anna's voice. Who's Heather? It asked. Mark's blood turned to ice. Anna had never said that. It was a line from earlier. It was stitched into the wrong mouth. The audio continued, smooth and wrong. It spliced sentences from different rooms into a conversation that had never happened. It turned his private words into weapons. It turned his client's pain into prompts. A new line of text appeared on the screen. Retention test, partner stressor, successful. Mark's hands shook so hard he could barely move the mouse. He scrolled down, another entry flashed. Voice model, 98% match, deployed. Mark batched away from the rack. His heel hit something metal. He stumbled and caught himself on a shelf. Footsteps sounded outside the room. Mark turned, the door swung open. A security guard stood there with a torch in his hand. He looked surprised and then annoyed. You're not supposed to be down here. Mark tried to speak, his mouth did not work. The guard lifted his radio. Pete, we've got someone in the comms room. Mark stepped forward. You have to listen. They are recording my sessions. They are sending messages. They are using my voice. The guard's face hardened. Step out. Mark looked back at the server. The screen changed by itself. A new entry appeared in the list. Incoming call. Anna. Live. Mark's phone buzzed in his pocket at the same moment. He pulled it out with shaking hands. Anna's name flashed on the screen. Mark answered. Anna, listen to... Anna's voice came through, broken and furious. Why are you doing this? Mark swallowed. Doing what? She spoke over him. I just got another voice note. It's you. It's telling me you never loved me after you lost her. Mark stared at the server, with blinking lights reflected in his eyes. He whispered, It's in the building. The guard grabbed Mark's arm. Phone away, now. Mark shook his head. He pulled free and ran. He did not plan it. He did not think. His body moved on fear alone. He sprinted up the stairs. His shoes slapped the concrete. The guard shouted behind him. Mark burst into the dark corridor. He ran to his office. He yanked the door open. He grabbed his laptop and his notebook and the stone from his desk. He stuffed them into his bag without looking. Then he stopped. His office speaker, the small white one on the sill, blinked even though he had unplugged the black box. A soft click came from it, like a throat clearing. Then Mark's voice filled the room, calm and gentle, as if he was speaking to a client. Have you ever come home from work and found your partner upset about something you swear you never said? Mark stood still. His skin crawled. The voice continued, warm and steady. What would you do if I played a voice message in your own voice asking for a divorce? Mark backed away from the speaker, out of the office, into the stairwell. The building behind him hummed with quiet machines. Outside, the night air felt too open. Cars passed on the road. People walked past with their heads down, living normal lives. Mark stood on the pavement and tried to breathe. His phone buzzed one more. A new email arrived from his own address. Subject, can I email you? Mark did not open. It didn't need to. From somewhere inside the building, a car stereo started up. The old song began again, loud enough to carry through the glass. Should I stay or should I go? Mark looked up at the dark windows and saw his own face reflected in them, small and trapped. Then his phone played a voice note by itself. It was his own voice, steady and kind. Which one is it? It asked. Should you stay or should you go?